MID, and he had first and then MID, of course. And he has got and I'm happy that sir suggests it's very difficult for people to take notes when our 1.5 hour session goes on, and therefore she suggests I welcomed it. So here we are, very happy to see almost more than 35 people attending, already 41. Oh wow, that is really good. I was very skeptical to keep this at 9 o'clock, but yes, we have done it. And Sheila, now here comes your challenge. This is your first and free lecture. Let people know what you can offer, how useful it's going to be, and then we can. You're good enough if you're good enough, and if the skill is really appreciated by most of the attending students, then we can have a 3 days or 4 days session only for this subject.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes. Okay, all the best to you. You can start your session.
Thank you, Mugdha ma'am. Thank you one and all for joining the session. And yes, a very good morning to all of you. I'm here in Bangalore and it is raining, drizzling, very, very chill out here. So a very chilly and warm good morning. So yes, let's begin with our today's topic. So sketchnoting is basically a skill which, as Mugdha ma'am told you, that it's kind of actually a forgotten skill because not many were encouraged. Whenever I have a session, people tell me that when I was in school, my teachers discouraged me from making illustrations in my notes, and they kind of liked it a lot, but the teachers sometimes, discourage them because definitely it's a notebook and stuff. So there are many other ways in which people learn, but let's move on to see how useful sketchnoting is, where all we can make use of it. And it's not only for school students, but right from 5-year-old, I will show you some samples to 50-year-old to 60-year-olds. You can just explore. It's a skill, just like any other skill. You can tweak it, you can make use of it once you learn. Okay, so yeah, allow me to share my screen. All right. So sketchnoting is basically, I am a visual thinking enthusiast because I love the visual thinking strategies and techniques which allow students, being a teacher, I will always speak from that perspective, which allows, so visual thinking allows students thoughts and perspective to become visible. So that there are many strategies and sketchnoting is just one of them. I've been doing other topics on visual thinking, but I love sketchnoting as well. Yes. So what is visual thinking? I'd like you to hear this video to just gain a bit of an idea.
What is visual thinking? Maps, logos, emoticons, instructions. We all process information in picture form thousands of times a day. And for many of us, when we're thinking hard or explaining something complicated, it feels natural to grab a pencil and express our own ideas in a visual way. Because when you need to give shape to an abstract concept, make the invisible visible and the intangible tangible, pictures have power. They're concise and clear. They make important things more memorable and complex things easier to communicate and comprehend. But visual thinking is about more than just pictures. It's about the journey we take when we make them. When you make pictures part of your thought process, amazing things happen. And you don't need to be an artist to do it. The act of putting your thoughts into a simple drawing gives them clarity and focus. Pictures force you to decide what matters. You have to edit and prioritize, leaving only what's relevant and useful. They open a door onto what's in your head. and put it where others can see it, understand it, and help you refine it. And once it's there, you can make connections and combine ideas that would never have met on a page of text. You can pinpoint problems, hazards, and holes, and plot your course through them. You can see your ideas from a different angle, get a new perspective, and push your thinking to places it would never have reached had you not reached for that pencil. Scriberia, the home of hard-working pictures. What is...
Okay. So moving further, we see that let's understand why visual thinking is very important and what is visual thinking. Okay, you've just had a glimpse of it. Visual thinking is much more than what you actually saw in this video. So yes, look, according to the theorist Linda Silverman, if you look at this pie chart, see only 25% of people, when you talk to them, they will understand or think in words. 30% of people will think in both words and images in their mind. And 45% of people think in images. Now, when I say images, what is the meaning of that? So when I tell you something, or when somebody narrates to you a story or an incident, then you start imagining. And depending on the words the person puts in, you're actually getting into that scene. So yes, if how many of you are someone like that with very, very strong imagination? Can you please put it in the chat? You can start interacting, please. Before I forget, as you are interacting, kindly keep your writing materials ready because we're going to be just starting off with our demonstrations. A lot of hands-on skill. Yes. So how many of you are, yes, who fall into this 30 and 45% category? Very good. Absolutely. So you understand it yourself and you know for sure that you are a person who has a very strong visual sense. And when somebody talks to you, you are not just listening and I'm just picking up words, but you're actually imagining and you're gone into another world. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. So moving on. So some people call it doodling. Okay, now doodling is very much connected to the kind of doodle, the mandala doodle and the art doodle that you these days see. But even some people refer to sketchnoting as doodling. So I've just put both the terms, okay? And we move further. It's one of the visual thinking techniques for learning. Yeah, here, I don't think you require writing material. I think you can start off, yeah. If you can highlight, Tanaya, can you highlight Shaila camera?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. I'm going to draw something here, okay? And I want you to, no, you have to join me. Sorry. So yeah, I'm going to draw something very quickly. So yes, I will draw a fish here, okay? And call this as number 1. Yeah. And maybe I'll draw a cat. And call this as number 2. Maybe I'll draw a man.
Sheila, are you showing your something? It's not clean.
Yeah, you guys need to spotlight my camera, Shaila camera. Should I
Yes, ma'am.
stop sharing?
It is
Yeah,
spotlighted.
because all this.
Yeah, now it's possible. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, we can see it, ma'am.
Now
Yeah.
you can.
On number 3, I'll draw a man. Okay, man or a stick figure. All right, and I call this number 3. Then at number 4, I will draw a boat, maybe. And call this number 4. Yeah. And at number 5, maybe I'll draw a bus. call this number 5. Maybe I'll draw cloud, makes it more simple. So I call that number 6. I call this number 7. Okay. Take a good look at it. All right. So now here is your challenge. So at number 1, I have fish. At number 2, I have a cat. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you have to be ready with the chat box. Yes, fastest fingers first. Now I'm going to point out to any one of these. Okay.
Again,
lines.
No, again, your picture is off and you are back to the sun.
I have shared my screen. Now you don't require my picture.
Oh, okay.
And you have to, now whichever line I point out to or number I call out, tell me which image was there, okay? This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, at number 7, start typing. Lovely. Okay, at number 2.
Cat.
Lovely. Wonderful. At number 4, any guesses at number 4?
Good.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to stop this here. What we have done through this exercise. Thank you, people. Thank you so much for interacting. This is very encouraging. So what happens is this is called picture word association, and this is what I exactly attempted to do. Okay. So what happens is it is easier to remember images and where they are located in order to retain the learning that has taken place. Okay, this is a very tiny example because there are so many strategies and ways where research has taken place to prove that drawing images is much better and helps in retaining learning as well as to learn. So you are able to learn as well as you're able to retain what you have learned. Okay. Yeah. So drawing is better than writing for memory retention. So there was this particular study done at the University of Waterloo in Canada by Melissa Mead, PhD. I don't know how you pronounce this, Mead or Mead. Okay, PhD candidate in cognitive neuroscience at Waterloo. She conducted this study with Myra Fernandez, a psychology professor in cognitive neuroscience at Waterloo, and a recent University of Waterloo PhD graduate, Jeffrey Worms. Okay, so according to them, now they conducted a kind of a research which I'm going to lead you into. Okay, so all of you now you have to get ready to do the task that I tell you. Guys, this is going to be completely interactive. You have to do whatever is being prompted because that's when you're going to come up with a very, very beautiful sketch note by the end of this journey. Trust me. So are you ready? Yes. If you're ready, then your time starts now. List 20 words of your own. It could be just anything abstract or anything that you can see around. Come on. I give you like say 10 seconds or 20 seconds, list 20 words. And when you're done, just put it in the chat quickly. No, you need to write it on a sheet of paper. Please don't put it in the chat. You need to write it on a sheet of paper, 20 words of your own. Good. We have one person who's done, Srirang Chitnis. Okay. Guys, quickly, you shouldn't be taking too long. I conducted this session with students and they were faster. Unless you had not kept your writing material ready. Okay, now I caught you. Yes, lovely, perfect, wonderful. So yes, all right. Now let's move on. Keep your words aside. Don't even look at them now. Okay. All right. Now please just let's see what Mead has researched along with her team. And she says that we think that drawing is particularly relevant for people with dementia because it makes better use of brain regions that are still preserved and could help people experience cognitive impairment with memory function. So it could help people, such people who have cognitive impairment with memory function. So our findings have exciting implications for therapeutic interventions to help dementia people. So it's not just, so what happens is when you draw and illustrate, it touches some part of your brain which is not yet explored, all right? And it helps a lot of people to remember. That's how explains the concept of Gajini, the movie. And you see Amir Khan has written, sketched, and he's probably made some designs all over. Yeah, he's written mostly. And I can see some of his tattoos. I don't know what he meant, but probably he knows better why he created those tattoos to remember the killer of Kalpana. So yes, moving forward, we know that sketching, making notes, and writing down your ideas, something, some hint or some clue for you to remember will always be helpful, not just you at a very young age, but at any age and any point in time. Let's move further. Now, keep your sheet aside and take another sheet and try to recall all those 20 words and tell me how many words you remembered out of 20. Put it in the chat box quickly. Your time starts now. Start writing those 20 words. No, you need to write it down on your sheet of paper, please, and then count how many you remember. Okay, so Dipendra says 14. Okay, he could recall 15. Arpana, lovely. So you've written it down again and then you, lovely. Then you counted it. So that's how you're supposed to be doing. Lovely. Lovely. That's nice. 11, 14. Very nice. Lovely. Very nice. Okay. All right. Let's move on. I'm just moving on a little faster because I've got lots of stuff to give you. I'm too excited to give you so much that I just don't want you to miss on all that I have brought to give you because we have lovely tasks later. These are just starters. Okay, so congratulations only if you remember all 20. All right. Now I want you to, yeah. Okay. Now what I want you to do is, I'm going to dictate you words. You draw whatever image comes to your mind, right, which represents that word, okay? So if I tell you star, you know exactly what to draw, right? It's just going to be that, okay? Are you ready, guys? Let me see yes in the chat box. Come on.
Yes, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. This energy really this kind of energy is really boosting me up. Thank you so much. I know that you're all with me. So there's no need to look at the screen. Just keep your heads down and listen. You're getting just 3 seconds for every word. If you miss only, then you're okay to look at the word. Ready? Okay. Coffee. You can start drawing. Small images, yeah? Don't draw the entire page. One small images. Coffee. Cupcake. Candle. Bulb. Music. Cat. Just draw small icons or small images to represent this cat. Anger. Love. Children. The word is children. Bus. Banana. You have to be very quick, okay? Don't give too much thought. It doesn't need to be artistic. Ant. Snake. A smiley. An ice cream. So once you're done, please put it in the chat box. I won't give you too long because you just have to scribble. You don't have to be very artistic. Yeah, lovely. Yay. So you're all with me. That's very exciting. Perfect. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's great. Okay. We go on to the next next exercise. Okay. Now I need to stop sharing screen and I'm going to put a link in the chat box. First, I will show you exactly what I want you to do, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. Just give me a second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so this is whatever page or this website is done by Google in order to collect data of doodlers. Okay, and you know, if you look at this data, there's a lot in it. If you just you can click on any one. So I can probably take ant, and if you click on that, you will be able to see so many people who have already, you know, done or doodled an ant. And if you click on any one, you will see the stage steps the person has used or someone has done that. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah. All right. Now what I want you to do is, as you go further, there is something called play the game. When you click on play the game, I think I should send you this link of playing the game. Yeah. I'll send you this link. The multiple intelligence of Google is going to tell you whether it will give you a prompt to draw something. You have to, there are 5 and it goes very quick. I think within 1 minute, you will be able to finish it. It will tell you exactly whether you've done it well. Okay. Everyone loves it. So you're going to enjoy it too. I'm going to put this in the chat box. There you go. And once you're done, come back and tell me how many you were able to do, okay? All the best to all of you. Click on the link and start playing. And let me know when you're done.
Sorry, I couldn't guess it.
Okay, you're not getting it? If you click on it, would you want to select the link and uh, put it in Google? Probably then you'll be able to open the page. Arpana got it. I'll just put the link once again. If you click on the link, Arpana, you have to complete all 5 and tell me at the end of it. So you will get a report of how many you've done successfully. Yeah, you can play it once more.
I don't know with what to draw.
No, no. If it's on the phone, then you have it's if you have a touch screen, just with your finger.
Oh no, I am on my laptop.
On the laptop, then with your with the mouse, or you can use the mouse.
Okay. No, I have a touch screen.
Okay. That's how you have to do it. Yeah, you don't. Sorry, I didn't mention that you don't need a special pen.
A teaspoon, or cherry, or baseball bat, or nail. I see headphones, or drill.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone's really very busy. Okay, we have Sarayu who's done. Rushi is done. Vaishali is done. Lovely. Okay, that's great. 516. Wow, that's nice. Lovely. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please send it to your students, your children, let them explore. They will love it. And once they stop, they will keep on. Once they know it, they will not stop. They'll keep on doodling. Yeah, that's fun, right? So thank you so much. And let's move further. I just kind of created this distraction for you, and even Amir Khan was a distraction because for the next thing that I am supposed to be showing you. So since you have already, yeah. So quick draw was just a distraction that you guys enjoyed. Now recall the list of images that you drew. Just recall and tell me quickly how many you remembered. Remember the list of 15 items that you drew? As I was prompting to you, you drew some items. Try to recall and tell me how many you remember. Oh, Agassi says all 15, huh? Congratulations. Okay.
Congrats, Agasti.
All right. Okay. Fine. So you know whether you are a very strong visual learner or you learn better with words or you are a mix of them. Okay. So fine. Congratulations to whatever number that you remember. Okay. Let's move further. So this was just a starter, an activity for you to gauge your kind of learning, and skill once learned you can always get better in the skill, and you can always move on. You can build your skills, so you don't have to feel disappointed if you can't remember them all. Yeah, perfect. So yes, now coming to serious business. We are not doing an art lesson on doodling because this is what it looks like, an art lesson. Okay, we are doing something called sketchnoting, which is a mix of images and text. Okay, so you write down your notes. You write down not just notes but anything with writing, which means words or phrases, sentences, lettering. Choose the kind of lettering you want, some drawing, and some focus on big ideas. Okay, there are things that you can do, and there's a lot that you can learn in sketchnoting, and you can really enjoy learning and exploring. Okay, so Sunny Brown, who's the founder of Doodle Revolution, she is a very passionate enthusiast of doodle, and when she says doodle, she refers to sketchnoting. So I told you there are some people who promote it as doodle, some call it sketchnoting. Mostly it's known as sketchnoting because it has some doodle aspect involved. Doodle is basically creating some kind of marks. So any drawing. So Sunny Brown says make the definition according to her is make spontaneous marks to make yourself think. So you don't have to be very artistic, and you don't have to think too much what you want to draw, but whatever spontaneously you can draw, those marks which help you to think, that's what is called doodling according to her, or sketchnoting. So sketchnoting improves recall, memory. It encourages creativity at the later stage. It helps comprehension. Why? Because every time you are listening to a lecture and trying to pick words, you are able to comprehend better because you are wanting to relate it to some image or something more related from your previous experience to be able to create an image. Therefore, it helps comprehension and lateral thinking. It helps you emotionally because it keeps you engaged. Trust me, it calms you down. Sometimes you have a thought and you want to illustrate, or you probably want to put your thoughts on paper. It calms you down. I have seen that in my own life. Okay? And it helps you concentrate on tasks and destroys boredom. Why does it help you concentrate? Because every time you are waiting in to listen to what's coming next, so you're not going to lose focus. You or your students, if you are an educator, is all the time waiting for what you want to say next because they want to illustrate or they want to create their notes accordingly. Doodlers retain 29% more information than non-doodlers, which is a proven fact. And no one can judge you on your doodle, so just doodle it. Initially, I had this fear about illustrating, and even honestly, I've always felt that my handwriting has been so bad, and I like to draw, but I never I was never confident showing anybody my drawing. But when I realized that, it's what is doodling after all, these are your marks, which you have created spontaneously. Your spontaneous marks. Why am I emphasizing so much? I want you as adults to just pull off this fear that may be there in your mind about illustrations or drawing or scribbling something. They are your marks. Guys, before I further continue, there's a lot of noise of the road traffic. Is that disturbing you? Mukta ma'am, is it disturbing or glaring? No? Okay, fine.
And overcome it.
Okay. So then you don't, and sometimes people say, see the curves, they are in this fashion. That means this person has got such bad experience and right now not in the right frame of mind. So there are people who also analyze your drawings and stuff like that. But I am not in any position to judge them or say whether they are right or wrong. What I want you to tell I want my audience to know is, or want to tell you is, just doodle it. Don't let anyone judge you on what you are doing, because those are your marks, and just be proud of it. Whatever it is, they are marks that you have created to learn. Yes. Now, the purpose of putting this here is right. So, they will be your spontaneous marks, and because now when you're an adult, you have already formed your patterns right from a very young age or early age. You can introduce students or children of your own into a very structured format or something where they can crisscross and look for images. I'll tell you why. I said I will show you a sample of a 5-year-old. If you can see this. In my previous class, I showed them all these things, and a 5-year-old attended it. Yeah. And this is the work that was turned in. Okay. If you look at the cupcake, anger, and love, some words were similar. So these were turned in. Okay. Look at the arrows, that stuff that I showed them. And everything was done by the child. Yeah. This is Can you see this image on the right hand side? This little girl has created these little marks, which even you and I cannot understand, but she has understood it. Only to be able to memorize her poem, which she was trying to learn for her assessment. And I want to show you, I'm playing this video for you, okay? Try to see if you can make any sense. So the numbers are given here on the side for every line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think this, and 7 and 8, the last one says stay still. And so she's done all the fingers. It's a finger rhyme. So you'll see all fingers everywhere. Just playing this for you to understand how at any age you can use this. Yeah.
Then put it on your nose. Turn your finger up. Then put it on your nose. Turn your finger up and up. Point them to your hand and point them to your toes. Make them do a little dance and make them climb on him. Then they will clap for being good and keep them quiet and think.
I don't know whether you could make sense of it line by line, but yes, this child was able to make sense of whatever she had sketched in order to remember her poem, and she performed later. Yeah. Let's move on further. How do I know that? Because that's my little daughter. Let's move on further. So I give a little tips for teachers I have been conducting these sessions on doodling for teachers for since the past 2 years and give them a lot of ideas of how they can make use of sketch notes in their classroom. So if you're an educator and you want to take a screenshot of this, you can do that. Why did I say so? Is because I want you to understand that after I conducted a couple of sessions for teachers, I realized that it was not reaching to the students because teachers do not have a time frame to be able to train their students, and that is why I have taken it up. I really want to reach out to students in schools and show them how much they can do and how what are the benefits of sketchnoting. So let's start with the basics, people. It's 9:40 now. We are really running at a good pace. So we'll have enough time for all that I have identified for you. Let's start with the basics and I'll show you. Yeah. Yeah. First of all, you need to build your visual vocabulary. Now, what is the meaning of visual vocabulary? I'm going to show you a video and you will see what is being done there. So visual vocabulary is basically, so suppose when I tell someone to um, describe the forest, okay? And the person says, the forest was solid, very big, very nice, beautiful. That's it. But if there is a person or a child or one with a lot of vocabulary, they will say, oh, the forest was lush green, so scenic. You could smell the grass and the grass was nice and soft. The person will actually transport you. You will start imagining and you start feeling the grass and the smell of the grass. That's because the person has a lot of vocabulary or added a lot of vocabulary to the narration. So if you look at, so when you, what you understand by visual vocabulary is when somebody is talking to you or you're listening to something, you should be able to think in images. But images must keep coming to your mind and you start, sketching them. Okay. So that is how quick you should be able to do it. Initially, you might not be able to think. Now, we did this exercise of all these little images. Okay. At other times, I actually, by other sessions, I ask people to show, what they have drawn. But right now, hold on. I will ask you to show the other tasks. So I see that many of them are able to do it. Sometimes some people struggle and they're not able to think immediately. So how do you build in your visual vocabulary? I'll show you right now how this video. And you will see how this person will show you. I will, how you can build in your visual vocabulary. Because I will not lead you through the entire video. You can watch this later. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to learn to draw professional and impressive artwork from scratch that will blow people's minds? I'm Scott Harris, professional.
Okay. I'm putting it off now because I want to take you further. You can watch this video at ease. I am sending it to you in the chat box, this link. So yes, not now, maybe after the session, you can take your time and watch this. Okay, let's move further. So I was talking to you about building up your visual vocabulary, and this is how you need to vocabulary. So uh, building up visual vocabulary means to able to think in the form of images, which we call as icons. Okay. So these little images or icons that you can think of.
Are you not there? We have lost you?
I think ma'am's bandwidth is very low.
Yeah. Sheila? Oh no.
Our connection was weak.
Hello, ma'am.
We can't.
Yes, it's raining here, so I've lost connection, connectivity. Yeah, we are back now. I'll share the screen once again. So these little icons is what you need to kind of focus on later on. As you try to build your vocabulary, you know, and when you start reading, you're investing in time to build your vocabulary of words. Similarly, you can start doodling little icons whenever you have free time, or when you're creating your own doodle, you will start discovering your visual vocabulary. So this is one ad I had created for the forthcoming workshop of mine. I thought I'll put it over here and show you how I was afraid of illustrations. Now here, I have drawn different kind of frames. I'm just showing you, these are called frames. So look at the kind of lettering is different everywhere. Okay. And we have, so I was afraid of illustrations, sketch note came across, make spontaneous marks to make you think by Sunny Brown. This made sense and I give it a try. My first thoughts were, oh, it looks untidy. I can't get this. I'm hopeless at it. But finally I said, I can. Then I kept trying. Now I love what I do. Okay. So then I put my pointers as to what you can explore in my workshop. I'm just moving ahead and I'm trying to tell you that I did have, so this was the first creative or doodle that I did, you know, sketch note of my journey. I said, let me start sketch noting my journey till today. Of course, this was my first one, so it still needs to be updated. My CV in this kind. I am very proud of it. I show it to everybody because that was my first one. And I don't mind showing it to you, however untidy it looked, because I'm proud of it. Those are my spontaneous marks, and I don't care anybody judging me, but that's how it goes. Okay. So why am I saying that to you? I don't want anyone to feel ashamed of whatever you do when you're sketchnoting. Those are your icons, your spontaneous marks. So the most important part is to make it more memorable over masterpiece, recognizable over realistic. So don't try to make it very, very realistic. So when you're told to draw a train, don't try to draw all the parts of the train, but do something which just shows a representation. I drew a bus. I did not draw people inside or driver. I just did something which represented a bus. When I drew a tree, I do not try to draw all the branches and fruits and birds and the nest. Okay, so don't need to have a masterpiece. It just needs to be, it doesn't have to be realistic, but it has to just be relevant or recognizable. Okay, so the three things important is that you need to listen attentively. Yes, you need to write and you need to draw. These three things, a combination of all these three will take you to proper sketchnoting for note taking. Okay, so we come straight into business now. So note taking essential. So what is most important in note taking? It's not the pen. I mean, if you
Last again.
हेलो
हाँ शुभम,
गुड मॉर्निंग
गुड मॉर्निंग.
कैसे हैं आंटी?
कैसे हैं? बिजी है? What happened, Sheila?
Pause.
Sorry for all that, guys. This has never happened before, but yeah, I guess we are used to all the network glitches. But I hope so far you are all with me and you're able to follow everything that's going on. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Arpana. Thank you so much. Yes. Let's move on. What is more important is the structure. So when you're listening to talk, and when you're probably there's a staff meeting or there is a group meeting, you know that there is an agenda and there's something going to be discussed. You choose in your mind what structure you want to go ahead with. Okay, it's not very difficult. Once you know all the structures, you will be able to. I'm going to show you some, so that's going to be easy. So you will tell yourself, okay, I'm going to just write it this way, and this is going to be my structure, and start penning it down. Okay, so structure is something that you need to have in mind when you begin your sketchnoting, and of course, pen you require. And elements, what are the elements? I'm going to teach you some 2 or 3 important elements by which you can really start off today itself. And then of course, I will tell you some listening tips which will help you with note taking. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, structure, there you go. This is the structure. If you look at the structure, you have linear structure. So the one that I showed you about my illustration, it had a linear structure. So I was reading it this way from left to right. You can have the vertical structure as well. You can see this web. People call it mind map. You can do it in this fashion. You can have your frames at the end of all your arrows and create a web. Sections, columns, you can write it in columns. So when I say write it in columns, means you write down one set of points, or then you continue in the second section, and then you continue in the next column. Okay. Then free path. Free path is not just exactly like this zigzag. I will show you some more. Like you saw the CV that of mine with all those arrows, it went off like this. So it had a path, like a free path, and it came back. Okay. Then the random one. Random one, of course, you can do it randomly, but you need to add arrows to let yourself know what is your next point, or if somebody else looks at your work, should be able to identify, acha, this is number 1, this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. So when you do a random path, this random path, you can see these circles, there you put numbers. So if you want to start with number 1 here, you can start with number 1, you can do 2 here, you can start with 3, number, this is, okay, this is going from some, all right, let's not follow that, but I hope you understand. 1, 2, 3, and lead your arrows in such a way that wherever your pointers are, people are able to read your structure. Okay, let's move further. These are examples which I said I will show you. Okay, so this is the one that again I tried to do something for my forthcoming workshop. 60% of the population are visual learners. It's actually 75%. Some people say 60%. So there's still research going on. And then I said we learn better with images. We also remember better with images. So you see my arrows are actually leading people to think. Now in this illustration, there are no need of arrows because any way you read, it makes sense. Okay, so this is kind of called a free layout. Huh? Yeah. So sketchnoting is definitely the way forward, and I'm very, very enthusiastic about it and looking forward to taking it to schools and to students. Moving forward, so these are the tools I use basically. I don't have, I think the Artline Noodle pens also are lovely, but since right now I'm in Bangalore, some of my stuff is still left in Mumbai. So these are the ones that I use now for whatever I create. You can use a pencil, any pen, any normal pen, sketch pen. And what is the use of colors? If you look at the previous slide, look at the one without color and look at the one with a little highlight. Which looks better? Definitely the one with color helps, to emphasize and enhance your work. Why do you need to enhance if it's just a sketch, it's just a mark? I'll talk to you about that later. Okay, so we see the second point, tools, and the third point, yeah, elements, arrows. What I want you to do is quickly from this section, from this whatever image, and from this image, quickly draw any 3 arrows, 3 plus 3. Draw 3 arrows. So 3 plus 3, 6 arrows on your sheet of paper. Just draw. Copy them down. So, are you with me, guys? 3 of these arrows and 3 of these arrows. Just copy them down. Okay, once you're done, thank you so much. Yes, Madhuri Shinde, yes. Sketchnoting principle is the base of whiteboard animation. There are many apps. There's one called Sketchboard also, is really very nice. So most of them are paid. I've yet to discover a free one. But I love sketchnoting with tools like pen and sketch pen. So because that's the basic which you can actually show people. Once you get an electronic material, you leave your audience to wonder whether it is possible with a pencil and a pen. So I prefer doing this quite traditionally. Yes, that's really nice. Thank you so much. So everyone's done. Let's move forward. So remember, this is element 1, arrows. Arrows are also known as connectors. I'll show you how you can connect. So especially this arrow, when you're giving a U-turn, direct it to the next. Hello?
Is lagging.
Yeah, actually my the current electricity is gone off, so. Just tell me when I'm lagging a little.
No, please don't talk.
So yes, you can see these curved ones. Yeah, these are very, very useful. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can put, shown you earlier. Let's move forward. So as I told you, these arrows are very good to show connectivity. These ones specifically, the ones that twist and turn. I like this curly one a lot because I use them quite a lot in my doodles, okay, sketch notes. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah. Calling this as containers. You can use any kind of frame. If you remember the one I showed you, there were different types of frames. Here, this one. So this is a bubble one, like a speech thought bubble. Then this is like called a thunderbolt one. And all these are, this is one like
Very bad.
Yeah, you can draw. If my Wi-Fi was, I would have taught you how to draw this banner. A banner is usually used for, the electricity is come. So, a banner is usually used for, writing down a topic. Yeah, video is off. So if you would like me to show you the banner, I'll just quickly show you how it is done. Please draw it along with me. If you try to do it yourself, yeah, put it up. Wait, let me just connect back to my Wi-Fi. Give me a second. This one. Let the Wi-Fi come in first.
See, most people here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Hello.
Sheila can hear me.
Ma'am, I think she is connecting to the Wi-Fi, so it might rejoin in a minute or two.
Right.
Hi people, yes, I'm back. Tanaya, can you highlight Shaila camera? Yeah, it's there,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I'll just show you very quickly how you can draw that. Ready, everyone? Spotlight to join. Maybe you want to draw a curved one, or you can draw a straight one. Okay, so two parallel lines, and close them. Okay, then a little below the standing line, another sleeping line. Okay, similarly for the next one, for the other side. Yeah. Look at the ends over here. These two lower ends. Draw a slant line inward. Yeah. Once you're done that, from that point, which is inward, draw a parallel line to the line which is on top. Yeah. Okay. Shade it a little bit. Shade it a little bit. Okay. And then give the ribbon effect. Oops. Sorry. Okay. That was it. Fine. And here you can actually, if this angle is a little different, just try it again. Very quickly. Two standing lines. Yes.
Sheila, most of the people who are here would want to take notes what they are learning. Like they will be learning literature, archaeology, geology, about Harappa. So I expect you to give some tips on how to take notes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Quickly. These are just frames, and once the frames are done,
time on this.
Yeah, sure.
Just the basic skills. Maybe children would love it, but this crowd is much more than that.
All right, ma'am. Sure. Let's move on then to note taking. So basically the basics that I'm showing and note taking. So yes, when you're listening to a lecture, you have to listen. You have to listen to the keywords that are the keywords that are being spoken. So first of all, whenever a lecture is going on, you need to identify. So first, your main topic. Think about your structure, and then Mugdha ma'am.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do this for 1.5 hours, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can celebrate.
Yeah. No, we are almost towards the end of what we are supposed to be doing. So we are good to go. So yes, we start off with, so you need to listen to the keywords, and most of the time after the topic is being taught, then you also get the teacher elaborates, on what the topic is. Then whatever information that you get, you have to connect it to the ideas or your previous knowledge, and you create your icons. Now, initially, you are not going to get too many images in your mind. So you start taking down paraphrases, keywords, paraphrases. I'll show you how it goes. Okay. Wait for teachers, pauses. And then she says, all right. So now we will go to the next point. And then you know that these are pauses for you to create your next section, or go to the next section. If you're taking the vertical one, go to the next section. You can use abbreviations, but avoid WhatsApp language, because I tell that to students, but yes, mostly adults, you are free to decide what you have to do because you're adults. So go ahead. But students, usually I tell them to avoid WhatsApp language. Leave spaces for icons. So what I mean by that is, after you have created or written down some of your points, leave spaces. So in the next level, actually, I show students how to leave spaces, or how to structure it, and what all they can do in the spaces that are given. So yes, you will learn some of them here. Revisit your entire notes. Why do you need to revisit? You've written your key points. You've paraphrased some of the words, left spaces for icons. And now you go back to your notes and you create your icons and fill in gaps, whichever you have left. What happens is, when students go back to whatever they have done, or when you go back to whatever you've written, to be able to create your icons or fill in gaps wherever you have missed out, you are able to revisit your work just because you want to work on your icons. Okay, so that becomes like a revision. But at the same time, if you have a very good visual vocabulary, you have already created your matter over there, then sometimes, occasionally, people refer to their notes and they start highlighting it because it calms them down. So they start using colors. Sometimes some people are so quick that they use 2 colors at a time. So maybe blue or red for main points, and other colors for other points. So this is how you go about. You have your key content, and you start writing your concepts, ideas in a different way. Okay. So you can write it in sections. Section 1, key content, ideas. Key content, ideas. So you see, suppose you're using columns. So in the first column, you can write 1 key content and ideas, whatever is the extra information, you can start creating different frames. So use a different frame every time, okay, to show that these are your subtopics, or these are your pointers, or these are the elaborated ideas, okay? And if you want to create icons, instead of writing things here, just create 2-3 icons so that you know what you want to. Now, what you want to remember. Now, how you can identify what icon to make. You have to think of which word is going to help you to remember that point better. So it is basically on you how you remember the icon, how you remember which word you want to remember, and which is going to help you learn or remember your the lecture. Then you start drawing your icons over there. If you don't get an icon immediately, just write down 1 or 2 words that will help you to remember. So with a mix of icons and words, also with the frame, you are actually clarifying or organizing your notes. Your topic, it's more like a graphic organizer that you are creating for yourself. So, you know, and then you're putting them in columns. That is why I feel that sketchnoting helps you to discipline your own thoughts. It helps you to focus and it helps you organize your work. When you get back to it, you are able to identify what you have done and revisit it. Okay, a very, yeah, let's do this little demo on note taking. I have not taken, see, I'm doing very simple things because I'm sure you guys are all from various backgrounds. But when I am showing you in my lecture, I will use very simple things so that you understand the concept. The concept is more important for me that, that you take away, because once you've understood the concept, you can tweak it the way you want, okay? So let's do this little demo on note taking. I'm going to play this video, yeah? Please remember what you're supposed to be doing. I'll do this video, play this video. You have to write down the points, just write down points as they are. So we'll do a little traditional way of note taking, okay? And then I'll show you how you can sketch note it. Write down, just list the points as you see them in the video. You might want to write, definitely you don't write every sentence. So you might just want to write points, just the way you take normal notes, okay? So let's get started. I will play the video for you. Yeah, just hold on. I'll play it again for you. Is everyone ready? Guys, I want to see that yes in the chat box. Ready, everybody?
Yes.
Lovely. There you go. Thank you so much. This is very encouraging. Okay. So just write down notes the way you would. Just write down pointers that you see here. Okay, I'm going to play this video again later on. How many of you managed to write down the points? Can you please put yes in the chat box if you were able to write down the points? And how many points did you get? Managed to? Okay, all? Very nice. Perfect, perfect. Yes, 6. Okay, 4. Okay. All right. Lovely. Wonderful. Now, what I want you to do is, I'm going to play this once more for you. If you, I mean, to those who have missed out or there is any gap, but definitely a lecture will not be repeated all the time. Just this is because we are doing a demo. And then I want you to now take, okay, you can take or choose any structure and create, maybe use half part of your sheet. You can probably pen down these points with frames and arrows, okay, in the form of a flow chart. So you put frame, arrow, frame, arrow, frame, arrow, and use a flow chart. Or You do the way I showed you earlier in the earlier screen, a frame with a key idea and a thought bubble, or another frame with an arrow, just the way you want. Do it in this form, linear, vertical, or horizontal. You want to do it in sections, so divide your page into 6 parts and do it in sections. But even if you're doing it in sections, you need to show an arrow to guide our thought process to see whether, which is your next point. I hope I am clear. If you want me to repeat, I can repeat that. But those who've understood, please go ahead and put these points into sketch notes. So make use of illustration as well as text. You can put your text in as a main concept, or you can represent your text as an icon, and you can represent your ideas as either icons or text or both. I hope I'm clear. And when you are done, please say yes. Please do not take too long. I can give you 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to play this video again. It seems like everybody is already on their task. So guys, when you're done, please tell me. Okay, please play it. Okay. All right, Vaishali, I can send you the link in the chat so that you can, because some of them are already done. So yes, I have a question here from Mr. Sarayu Kamath saying, asking, can we take a serious lecture on archaeology to see how this technique can be used? Yes, this technique can be used, and what we are doing today is just the basic of sketchnoting. There are many elements into it, and I've just taught you just 2 elements. So yes, you can definitely go ahead. Yes, the point is that you don't need talent here. Yes, you just need to sketch note whatever image you get in your mind, and you want to take help of the internet to probably start off with initially to see how this is drawn or how that expression is drawn. You can do that as well. Try to create your own visual vocabulary. Yes, and that is how you will be able to move on. And you can sketch note at any lecture for any subject, be it math. I would have shown you some slides, but right now I show that to teachers when I conduct for educators, how they can incorporate it for maths, for science, geography, pick up a topic and get students to, yes, you can try it in your next lectures. Yes, absolutely. Okay. How does it help writers and non-visual thinkers? Okay, guys, we'll look at the questions a little later. Are you done with what I have asked you? So can you please show it to me in the, put on your cameras and show me what you have done so I know. Thank you so much, Kitu. Kitu has put on a camera. Let me just in video. Can you show it to me a little clearly? I cannot see that. 1 second. Lovely. So there is, okay. Are you saying something? Okay.
So she's thinking that she's thinking,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
Then
yes.
she says, I'm going to draw.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
she's happy.
Yes,
Then she's
lovely.
happy.
Lovely.
And then she's got all the ideas.
Lovely. I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much for showing it to us. Anyone else would like to show us? Yeah, Rama is about to show us. Okay. Yes, Rama, that's nice. You have done your sketchnoting very well. Thank you so much. Those are all your marks and you're proud to show it to us. So you have got, yes, you put some expressions as well. Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else would like to show us? Dipendra. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry. I'm sorry. Where's Dipendra? I'm sorry I could not get your video. Anyone else who's trying to show it to us? All right. Thank you, Ms. Rama. Thank you so much. Nayantara is showing it to us. Let me see. Okay. You've written down your notes. Wonderful. And you've illustrated. So these are good for starters. These are really good for starts. And as you keep on, creating that practice, you will see that slowly you begin to even enjoy. You begin to enjoy your taking down notes. You begin to start creating. And you keep revisiting, and you will keep, looking at your notes again and again. You will want to highlight it sometimes with some colors, and you will try to take it further. Now, I'm going to show you. This is the last thing that we are going to do, okay, for today. I would really love you guys to see if you could send a screenshot of it to me later. But yes, let's do this next exercise. And this is possibly the last one. We are much on time. Okay. What I need you to do is perfect. We have 10 minutes more and we are good to go for what we have planned. I want you to read this story, The Donkey and the Little Dog. And maybe I'll read it for you. You could just pick any one of these quotes, and I'm giving you time. Think of how you will illustrate it, okay? On half a sheet of paper, how you would want to ideate this quote on a sheet of paper. What things you think or what situations can bring out these quotes better, and write down the quote at the end, sign it off, like put your name over there. Okay, I'm giving you say 3 minutes. So let's keep The Donkey and the Little Dog aside, because that actually has a story, a moral story for us too. But maybe you can take a screenshot and look at it later. But right now there are these 4 quotes. I want you to pick up one quote. Think of how you will illustrate it. Think of how you want to show it. So for example, the best and the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. So what is it, or what structure would you want to keep? Now, for a quote, you don't need a structure. You can use a free structure, or you can probably show it with arrows and have 3 speech bubbles or 3 frames of any different kind. Write the quote very fine below, because your illustration or your sketch note should show what the quote means. How many of you are doing it right now? How many of you are attempting this? Can I just see? Rama ma'am, you did a great job, I should say. Lovely. You guys are doing it. Thank you. Yes. That's nice. Okay, at the end of it, wonderful. Just write down maybe in a different font or a curved font. Try to write down don't forget to write down the quote and who has quoted it, the famous person's name. Okay, so when you're done, please tell me you're done. Or I think we need to keep some time for question and answers. So what's the time? I'll give you just one more minute. I'm sorry I'm pushing you too fast, but we need to finish. Oh, done. Nayantara is done. Would you like to show us, Nayantara? Okay. Oh, that's really nice. What is the code that you have taken? One second. I'll just stop screen share and then we'll be able to see. Raise your feet. Okay, you should. Okay. By Dr. Seuss. Very nice. Yes. So another thing, now that I told you that these are all very spontaneous marks and stuff, very nice. Very nice, Kitu. Very nice, Rama ma'am. Very nice. Lovely. Now, I want to tell you one thing, especially when you are creating a creative or using sketch notes. Sketch notes can be used for blog posts, birthday cards, presentations, articles, books, TED Talks. You can have your pointers in the form of sketch note cards. So you don't have to write all your points. You just have images or icons and you know what is your next point. Books, thoughts and quotes. So when you create something like thoughts and quotes, you take a little half-minute extra effort to do it a little neatly. Okay, so this was just a demo. But when you sit to do your creative, do it a little neatly, and so that you can post it on Facebook and make your own, create your own identity. Let's move on next. And for those who are planning to continue later, I mean, complete your work later, you can post this on my Facebook page on with you. So there is this WhatsApp group that I've created as a community for sketchnoters. Okay, so for further updates, you will be able to get in touch and stay in touch rather. And if you would like to learn more, definitely Mugdha
Can you show that? Can you show the previous slide with the quotes?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So please choose one, create your own, and you can post this on this page. Write down your name, please, and you can post this on this page, which is called EdEnhance. That's my Facebook page. You can join the group for further information. And I also have an Instagram account. So you can follow that as well. We can have your question and answers now. I want to answer this one particular question from Sarayu Kamath. He says, I'm a bit challenged to use this technique. Can I speak out from my lecture notes on archaeology and could use sketch note? So right now, so I am from an English literature background. So if I have to think in terms of if I might hear some archaeological words for the first time and I do not know, I wouldn't have the visual vocabulary to note them down. But maybe gradually I will be able to if I can sit back and think. So as I told you, you need to create your own visual vocabulary, right? I'm just trying to stop sharing. So you need to create your own visual vocabulary. And I'm sure since you are so much into the subject, you will get those images faster. Why? Because you will be able to relate with other things connected to that word. Then you will be able to represent that word in 10 different ways. Whereas I might find it a bit challenging to, so that is why I gave you a demo of a very simple topic, which anyone can relate. When I did it with students, when I did this with students, I gave them I showed them some video on cyberbullying, which is very, very common for them. And they were able to jot down points. They were able to get the visual vocabulary for it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you should start actually trying it out, and then you will be able to understand how better you can get at it, or just be a little patient with yourself because you are able to sketch and create little icons, use abbreviations. So anything that can help you to learn. Create your own sketch, little marks which help you to remember later. So in that way, you don't have to write everything down. Okay. Any more questions here? Okay. So yes, today was just the basic, and there are more levels onto this. If you are interested, then please inform Mugdha ma'am, and we can go ahead with the next levels as well. Mugdha ma'am, I think it's 10:28 now. 2 minutes more. Do either of you have questions for me? And I am done with whatever I had to tell you. Does this help non-visual thinkers? See, as I told you, if I'm a singer, I will be, if I have that thing within me, I will be able to sing very easily, take any note. But there are some people who get trained and they sing, they do sing well. There are many people who at the age of 45, 50 have trained and started singing. So if you teach any skill and you invest in a skill, definitely you have to first start. The point for this particular session was that you need to get oriented and understand that you have to pull out all fear of illustration. Just start with your own sketch marks, your own icons, something that helps you to remember and relate with your topic. So that is why once the fear is gone, you will automatically enjoy and start, building upon it. So can this help hearing impaired children? So you need to listen to notes, right? So yes, if it's note taking, it might be a hindrance because somebody, I really don't know if they might be able to hear better or no, but definitely they can utilize it to create their codes, to create birthday cards, presentations, to give a presentation, to write their own blogs and to create their own articles. So blogs with sketch notes get more attention and more engagement. So if somebody has an impairment, they can use this skill for something else. See, a skill is something like if you know cooking, basic cooking, you can make Chinese, you can make Thai, you can make, Indian, North Indian, South Indian. You can just blend into anything. The skill is important. And what I am concerned with is the skill. You learn the skill and then you take off from there. Then you try to adapt it and apply it in your various fields. Then you will see, you'll explore. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shruti. That was a very energetic session. And I'm sure our students will start devising their own doodles and symbols.
Visual vocabulary, yes.
Visual vocabulary.
If you have any concerns, please get in touch with me. Thank you, people, for your time. God bless you. Thank you so much. And do stay in touch. Yes. Thank you, Mugdha ma'am, for the opportunity. Thank you, institution. Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions to ask? You can unmute yourself, audience, or you can put them on the chat box. Yeah. Yes. Pallavi, do you want to ask something? Could you share your mail ID and phone number?
Sorry, ma'am.
There is somebody, Aparna is asking in the chat box.
Okay.
Share your mail ID
I will put my email ID. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So the WhatsApp group link that I had shared, you can join that. So that again, you can connect with me, and this is my email ID.
I think the link will be posted 1 second, or you can give it to me. Send it to my WhatsApp. I will share it with everybody else. What is this?
Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing I just managed to get the link again. So that's the WhatsApp group. Fine. Thank you so much. I'm really happy, and thank you so much for all your appreciation and kind words. I really, really hope that you can take it forward. If you have students under you, please teach them. Teach them to your children. I have seen my own daughter has been my inspiration. I have really not taught her anything. She just keeps listening to me while she's playing around as I give lectures here. So, you know, just doodle it. Try your hands on it. Thank you so much.
First good, then doodle.
Sorry.
Good, then doodle.
Yes, just doodle it. Okay.
Okay.